Hello! Welcome to another quiz, all about King David. We know he wasn't perfect by any means, but he had some amazing characteristics. David acknowledged his mistakes and recognized that he was weak. He knew how to step up in challenging situations and had a strong passion and love for God. David was not afraid of change. So how much do you know about him? 20 questions. Let's begin. Question 1. Who was David's father? Was it Abraham, Jesse, Noah, or Moses? And that was Jesse, according to 1 Samuel chapter 16. Question 2. Which prophet anointed David as king? Was it Elijah, Isaiah, Amos, or Samuel? And that was Samuel, in 1 Samuel chapter 16. Question 3. Which of these was not a wife of David? Was it Abigail, Michal, Rebecca, or Bathsheba? And Rebecca was not a wife, told in 1 Chronicles chapter 3. Question 4. Which musical instrument did David play for Saul? Was it a harp, a flute, a dulcimer, or a harpsichord? And that was a harp, according to 1 Samuel chapter 16. Question 5. What weapon did David use to kill Goliath? Was it a pea shooter, a spear, a bow and arrow, or a sling and stone? Not much thinking time required for that one. That's a sling and stone. The story in 1 Samuel chapter 17. Question 6. Who was David's great friend? Was it Naboth, Abner, Jonathan, or Daniel? And that was Jonathan, found in chapter 18. Question 7. In which city was David's throne over Israel? Was that Jericho, Jerusalem, Bethlehem, or Joppa? And that was Jerusalem, listed in 2 Samuel and 1 Chronicles. Question 8. How long did David reign? Was it 40 years, 35 years, 45 years, or 38 years? And that was 40 years, according to 1 Kings chapter 2. Question 9. How many begotten sons of David are named in the Bible? Is it 23, 10, 16, or 19? And according to 1 Chronicles chapter 3, there are 19. Question 10. Which of the following was not a promise God made to David? Was it that David's son would build a house for God? God will not take his love away from a future son of David. One of David's daughters would be the first queen of Israel. Or God would be the father of one of David's sons. And the one that wasn't a promise was one of David's daughters becoming the first queen of Israel. Question 11. Who was Bathsheba's first husband? Was it Uriel, Elisha, Aaron, or Uriah? And 2 Samuel chapter 11 tells us that was Uriah. Question 12. Which of David's sons rebelled against him and stole the hearts of Israel? Was that Solomon, Amnon, Absalom, or Adonijah? And that was Absalom, in 2 Samuel chapter 15. Question 13. What phrase did God apply to David? Was it a man after my own heart, the friend of God, my beloved son, or my favoured servant? And he was a man after God's own heart, referenced in Acts chapter 13 as well as 1 Samuel. Question 14. Which of David's descendants will reign forever? Is that Joseph, Hezekiah, Jesus, or Solomon? And only one possible answer there, that's Jesus, according to Luke chapter 1. Question 15. What was David's occupation before he became king? Was he a tent maker, a blacksmith, a fisherman, or a shepherd? David was a shepherd. Question 16. Which book of the Bible records many of the hymns David wrote? Is that Job, Ecclesiastes, Psalms, or Proverbs? And of course, that's the Psalms. Question 17. Where was David born? Was it Jerusalem, Bethel, Bethlehem, or Beersheba? And the town of David is Bethlehem. Question 18. Why wasn't David allowed to build God's house? Was it because of his sin with Bathsheba? Because he was a man of war? Because he wasn't a builder? Or because he didn't have enough money? And 1 Chronicles chapter 22 tells us it was because he was a man of war. Question 19. Which of the following are David's sisters? Is that Mary and Elizabeth, Rachel and Rebecca, Michal and Athaliah, or Zeruiah and Abigail? And the two sisters are Zeruiah and Abigail, according to 1 Chronicles chapter 2. And question 20. How old was David when he died? Was he 66, 70, 81, or 99? And if you look it up in 1 Kings chapter 2, you'll find that David was 70 years old when he died. Well, I hope you did okay there. I think you did. Until next time, goodbye, and God bless.